What's going on, YouTube? It's Sensei and Place to be chilling, Mr. A&E. Better give you guys another Smackdown review because it's been a minute. And joining me is not Deion Sanders for prime time.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Look, I have to say, I said that Raw Smackdown pissing me off, more so Raw. But I said if there's going to be a good Smackdown or a good Raw, dare I say, I will give it its own video opposed to just recording it on the podcast. And I have to say, Smackdown, I'm saying it right now, was the best wrestling show all week. Smackdown was the best 2 hours. I haven't felt a 2 hours in wrestling like this in years. Where it's like, it just made me feel like old school wrestling. 2 hours, like of how.
Well, they was the first responders to 9/11.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that or not.
You know what, you absolutely right, because that's why they could have Smackdown on that Tuesday, because they didn't cancel, they was there, so, no, but obviously this Smackdown takes place on September 10th 2001, and WWE is back in Madison Square Garden, the home of WWE and New York. They are synonymous with each other, and we are
I was gonna say I had one complaint, but it's not really a complaint. It's just a personal preference.
What is? What was it about?
I wish they would have had the small stage.
Oh yeah,
just because it's more Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Oh no. I definitely feel you on having the smaller stage thing, because that helps identify it with being Madison Square Garden. I agree with that. I definitely, you're 100% right on that one. But no, at first, we start with a video tribute, obviously, to 9/11. The people that was in there, because first of all, New York was hot, and I understand, because we're on the 20th anniversary. It's hard to believe it's been 20 years. Now, most likely, you guys are going to be hearing this SmackDown review added to the podcast, but so me and Prime will talk about our experiences with 9/11 from as it's been 20 years on the podcast. So we're not gonna re-get into it on the SmackDown review, because of how we're recording things. And but some people said they did bring back Lillian Garcia, but they didn't promote it or put it on camera. I wasn't near.
Yeah, it was on YouTube.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So and there's also a documentary that me and Primetime may get to on the podcast about the September 13th Smackdown that they had back in 2001, where they recorded Smackdown live that Thursday. And I do remember
first responders.
Yeah, I do remember that Smackdown, and I remember how scared I was too. But once again, we'll get on to that in the podcast, the other part of the podcast. But so right now, Smackdown starts off with Roman Reigns in the bloodline coming down to New York, and Reigns is talking about Reigns, he runs WWE, therefore Reigns runs New York, and so they all pose in the ring with the titles, and he wants the whole New York to acknowledge him. Now, here's the thing: they do acknowledge Roman Reigns. They're chanting Roman, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, because first of all, I was like, they're in New York. New York is very hype right now, especially, and very emotional. So it's almost gonna be like Bizarre World, but they chant Roman until the Brock Lesnar music hits. And I was like, we kick it off SmackDown with Brock Lesnar.
Well, he gotta come so he can, leave before the next segment.
It's and go back to Canada. Yeah. Brock Lesnar, he comes out, Mountain Man. Brock Lesnar is making his way back out. He comes down, and he's face to face with Roman and the Usos and Paul Heyman and stuff like that. And then Heyman grabs the mic. He says, Lesnar. He says, Brock, out of all, as the Usos try to step to Brock, he said, out of all the things, out of all the titles here at WWE, why do you want to go after the Universal title after all the titles that we can go after together? And then he just holds the mic down. He says, hey, Paul, why didn't you tell Roman I was going to be at SummerSlam? And instantly, the crowd's like, ooh. And then so all of a sudden, he backs up. And now I love that confusion that's going into the storyline. I think all that shit is perfect. And now Roman's looking at Paul like, oh, so you did know he was going to be at SummerSlam, and now the Usos, is not feeling. So then all of a sudden they like, all right, no, we leaving. So they left Paul in the ring with Brock Lesnar by himself, and then Heyman gets back into
this part, I ain't gonna lie, confused me. I was like, huh?
You said I confused you?
No, that part confused me because like after he left and they left, he was like, okay, well, we'll just go back to a regular thing.
Yeah, so he went back to doing, it's ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. I've been the advocate and for the reign defending, undisputed champion Brock Lesnar for 20 years. He's doing the whole thing, and then Brock gets the mic, and I'm telling you, it shocked me. And he was like, "Whoo, felt like old times, Paul." I have to tell you, but he says, "But before Roman fires you, I want you to accept my challenge." And he said he wants to challenge Reigns for the Universal Championship. But Paul, I got all day. You got 5 seconds to respond. And he puts his hand up, and he's doing the countdown. 5. I remember doing this with my son. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, but it's more like deadly when he says it. Like,
obviously, yeah. I'm like, scared. But so then after that, he just hoists Paul Heyman up in the F5. Then the Usos come down, super kick Brock Lesnar, and Roman comes down. But then Roman tries to go for a Superman punch with Lesnar, that picks him up by the F5s, and the Usos start attacking Lesnar again. Reigns escapes, but guess who's going to Suplex City? It is the Usos, and he gives each Uso about 2 suplexes as he stands.
He should have did it J&J style.
Okay, now J&J was lighter and smaller.
I mean, and that would make Brock look more like a monster. Right. They can jump for him. He don't got to necessarily do it for real.
I think you asking for a lot. Cause see if it's Samir,
well, I'm also kidding, but I'm saying like that would be like that would make him look, obviously like a beast. So,
I mean, look, he like a beast. When I see them shells flying, so I like that. We know the Usos is flying. So that's how that segment goes off the air, and then. Backstage, the Bloodline walking backstage. Heyman is stopped by his favorite, Caleb Braxton, and he nervously says that Roman Reigns will answer Lesnar's challenge when he deems it appropriate. So this opening segment,
he legit made her break though.
Say what?
He said something, and he legit made her break. Whatever he said, I forgot what he said.
I did too. So how did you feel about? No pun intended. Inside joke. How did you like to open the segment?
I liked it. No, it was cool. It was like it got them hype. Get everybody hype.
Well, first of all, I love the dynamic. Look, we have seen every iteration of Brock Lesnar taking on Roman Reigns. Every iteration. Mm-hmm. However, we never seen the iteration of Roman being this kind of a heel, Brock being a face, and Paul Heyman working for both men and not knowing where to go. That makes the dynamic better, opposed to Reigns being miscast as this babyface that nobody wanted to cheer for, and Brock whooping his ass but nobody wanted to boo him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So now that actually makes this match a little bit more interesting. And now I honestly don't know how's it going to go. Where's Heyman going to align to? Who's going to win the championship? Because what's the future going to hold? Those kind of things is kind of, cool to me. Now here's the thing: we got to get everybody on the card. So we got a 10-man tag team match. Big E.
I didn't like the way that they cut to this. It's like Brock Lesnar, then it's Big E and Shinsuke and Boogs and all them, and then they have a stare off in the hallway. I was like, all right, cool, I guess, but.
Yeah. So it's Big E, King Nakamura, Rick Boogs, Rey, and Dominic Mysterio taking on Apollo Crews, Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler, Otis, and Sami Zayn. I was like, where's Chad Gable? So before the matchup, Sami Zayn comes out with the New York Knicks jersey on, and obviously Sami's a heel, and he
Kevin Knox of all people.
I know. I was like, this is. I said, where's this go? He says, but you know what? I'm going to bring out somebody who knows how to win in New York and who knows how to get the job done right here in New York. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know which way this was going, because I was sitting there thinking, like, is he really going to bring... Because at first I thought he was going to bring out, like, an actual New York legend, and he was going to embarrass him, or he's going to bring out the Brooklyn Brawler. That's what I thought was going to happen. When I say, when Trae Young came out, dude, I died. When Trae Young came out, I was like, you know what? I give WWE a lot of shit. This was fucking genius.
It was. Whoever thought that was good, they need a raise.
I said, this was genius because you talk about heat. Because Trey, he comes out, he does the bow like he did like in Madison Square Garden. And they are booing this man crazy because if anybody watches basketball, Trae Young plays for Atlanta Hawks, and the Atlanta Hawks eliminated the New York Knicks in the first round of the playoffs in 5 games. And
Trae Young cooked though.
What'd you say?
I said Trae Young cooked though.
Oh, he did. Should. Ice Trae was in effect against the New York Knicks, and they never, and they were pissed. They only won 1 game, and I was like, yo, this is some shit right here. That is funny.
I'm glad though. I'm glad that it was Trae and not like John Collins or somebody.
Yeah. Oh no. I'm so glad they got Trae Young, because I'm like, yeah, I don't want just any Atlanta Hawk member. I'm like, no, it has to be Ice Trae, the one that literally bowed on y'all court and you pissed everybody for being the villain. So I was like, oh, that's great. So he's there on the heel side. So
which was weird. I'm like, wait, no, he's the heel. I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Oh shit, he did. He loved playing the bad guy.
I'm saying he's the heel in the match, not just in the cities.
Oh yeah.
Like obviously, what he does later, I was like, oh wait, he is the heel.
Exactly. So the match goes on as a pretty simple 10-man tag, but then all of a sudden we have everybody got to come in and get their shit in spot where somebody will hit their move, the next they celebrate, then somebody hit their move, somebody hit their move. So finally, we get down to Mysterio trying to go for 619, but then Trae trips him up, and then Trae is choking him on the rope. And he's like, choking him, and then the ref sees it, and the ref's like, no, ref tosses Trae Young out. And he said if Trae had sold it a little bit more, that would have been perfect. But he's not an actor, he's not a wrestler, so I know he wouldn't know how to. So he's just looking like, yo, what's up with your mans, man? So they toss Trae Young out, and then Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio hit a double 619 onto Rude, and then excuse me, and then Big E comes in and hits the big ending and covers Zayn for the 3 count. So it's Big E. All the faces win, and I thought it was cool. After the match, Big E gets interviewed, and he says, "Look, this may not be the only time y'all see me tonight, and whether it be Bobby Lashley or because he may be on Raw on Monday, but whether it be Bobby Lashley or whether it be Roman Reigns, if you got what I need, then you're gonna feel my power." So that was dope. Now we go.
Just real quick, going back to the Trae Young thing and the team and all. I'm glad that it was actually Rey Mysterio, because obviously when they posted on social media for the ESPNs and all that picked it up.
Yeah,
people automatically assume everybody in the mask is Mysterio, but I'm so glad it was actually Mysterio.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yo, you know what's funny though? Cause see, so I play basketball, so seeing Trae Young on TV, he looks small as shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Against Giants, but when he's there in wrestling, like, cause he's like 6'1", 6'2". I would say 6'1", right?
Maybe.
It's like, but it's like, he's like taller than Gable. He's towering over Mysterio. He's towering over Zayn. I'm just like, damn, how small are these guys? It's funny to me. Like, I didn't know how small The Rock was until he was next to Charles Barkley and Shaq.
Well, yeah.
No, but here's the
Yeah.
thing, because look, when you just keep seeing The Rock, you see how big and muscular he is, right? But when he's standing next to Charles Barkley, who's 6'4", and Shaq, who's 7'2", and The Rock's only 6'1", you're like, whoa, you big, but when it comes to height, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was dope. So now it's time for the contract signing for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Extreme Rules. Bianca Belair comes out looking, oh my god, sexy tonight.
Mm-hmm.
She is.
And last week too.
What'd you say?
Last week too.
Oh, you talking about the biker shorts?
Yeah.
Hot damn. I know. But yeah, she is ready for New York tonight. Like New York State of Mind. New York. So Bianca Belair comes up into the ring, and then she says, I have respect for Becky Lynch, but now I ain't got that much respect for her anymore. So she want to get her title back. She signs the contract. Becky Lynch comes out very obnoxiously with this obnoxious puffy ass coat, like she about to do a rap video with Bass and Diddy, and these oversized glasses because
That's what you talking about. That's the Kid Rock bro.
That's the what?
The Kid Rock jacket from Woodstock.
Oh, don't do that. But yes, it is.
That's what it is.
I mean, that's what that big ass puffy jacket. I'm like, yeah, that's an instant heel heat jacket right there. And so Becky comes in. She says, what if I don't want to sign a contract? Like, what's going to happen? And I was like, that's a damn good question. What is going to happen? And then Sonya just like, go sign the contract. She said, no, but what if I don't want to sign it? And I hear what Adam like, what do you mean if you don't want to sign it? Stop it. With Bianca Belair, she said, girl, So, you need to give people what they want and sign it. Sign it. Sign it. Sign it. So then she gets a sign it chant started. And the crowd was really behind Bianca Belair in Madison Square Garden. They weren't necessarily booing Becky Lynch, but they did get more of a healer response, I will say at least. I still think this is a big work in progress here. So, and then Becky Lynch says, you know what, I stayed home, and I heard you kept checking, we want Becky, and this is how you treat me? And I come back, and I won the championship, and this is how you treat me? So she says, fine. She said she could beat her in 20 seconds or whatever the case would be. She signs the contract. She tries to throw it at Bianca, but she catches it. And I was like, that was dope because it shows that's what some of the stuff I was looking for from Bianca when she called her like, yo, don't fuck with me type stuff. I like that. And I was just like, okay, now we're starting to get a little bit more of the EST that I like. So, actually, it was actually an entertaining kind of contract signing. So, how did you like it?
It was okay to me, but contract signings we've just been doing it too much.
Mm-hmm.
So we just had a contract signing for a match that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And they knew it wasn't going to happen. But, it was just whatever. It was cool.
Now, even though I'm sitting here asking myself, like, okay, so we got an Extreme Rules card lined up and everything, but they ain't no Extreme Rules matches.
They do. Which match.
That's why I hate this pay-per-view. This is why this in Hell in a Cell and TLC, I hate these pay-per-views. I hate them because you're like you making all these matches. I'm just like, there's nothing extreme about any of these matches.
It's like, why not just make every match Extreme Rules instead of just one or two?
Or why not just do like they used to do back in the day, that every match has an extreme stipulation?
Yeah.
That's what the fucking point of it is.
The one night.
Where they get extreme. And I'm like, okay, well, where's it at? Anyway, they do a hype package for Edge and Seth Rollins from SummerSlam. And now we get Edge versus Seth Rollins. I'm telling you right now, this matchup kicked major ass. It really did.
Edge and Seth Rollins,
yeah, it is, but I say, and also on SmackDown they gave them time also.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys go back and forth. There is one point in the matchup where Rollins tries to give the Grand Slam to Edge. I don't know if Edge fell forward too early because it didn't look good, but then Seth Rollins did try it again and then actually landed it a lot better. and I was like, oh, that did not look too good. Edge blocks a superplex and slams Rollins into the match. Edge jumps down and Edge rolls through to put Rollins in the crossface. Rollins makes it to the ropes to force a break. Edge hits a DDT, goes for a spear, but Rollins counters it into a neck breaker for a quick 2. And then Edge hits a power bomb and covers for 2. So we're going a lot back and forth here. There's what was the spear spot that I liked. I know Rollins picks up Edge. He goes for a buckle bomb, and then Edge and spear out of nowhere for the 2 count. And then Rollins drags Edge to the corner while the ref is distracted, and while he does it, he low blows Edge. So then he gets him a super kick. I was like, okay, well here go the curb stop. He's like, no. He waits till Edge gets up onto his knees and gives him another super kick. And I recognize, like, yo, these super kicks are kind of lethal. He's doing it right at the neck because it's all part of the storyline. So he's doing it right at the neck. And then he says, why won't you die? Then he hears him another super kick at the neck. Then finally gives him a curb stomp. And then he slowly covers him. Seth Rollins beats Edge. So they have...
I just knew.
Say what?
I just knew they was going to do the Owen Hart thing.
Owen Hart thing? What you mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, Edge just been taken to a medical facility.
I can't hear anything you're saying. What you saying?
That's how they do it.
Well, I missed everything you said. You talking so low. I hear what you said.
That's the point.
Oh! You're talking about when they get all serious and shit.
Yes.
Yeah. The stretcher came down and took Edge to the back. If Edge and Seth Rollins are going to get their third match, is it going to be at Extreme Rules? Probably not, but it's probably going to be at Saudi Arabia. It's going to be Saudi Arabia.
I was just going to say, I thought, okay, it could be. I was just thinking wasn't going to see him until maybe the Rumble.
I think we get at Saudi Arabia, and then, I mean, it's a possibility if you want to have Edge out that long. He is part-time, so.
I mean, yeah, because he kind of does have those sprouts of. This is kind of a sprout where This is kind of a sprout where if he comes back at Saudi, it might be too soon. At least for me, of how they built up his neck and he couldn't die and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes back like 2 weeks later or however, 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
But no, maybe they might. I don't know.
No, we gotta see. They ride Edge down the ambulance, and Seth Rollins is, just staring at the ambulance, and he says he doesn't know how to feel. Maybe he doesn't feel anything at all. Reigns is hyping up the Usos backstage for their tag team matchup, which I didn't know this was going to be a match. Then he still he tells Heyman that he saved him, and again, why didn't you tell him Lesnar was at SummerSlam? So we go into the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Street Profits taking on the Usos, and as soon as the match starts, they Montez Ford hit a jockey right to Jimmy, knock him to the outside, and then he did 4 dives to the outside. That's like the first 30 seconds of the matchup, and we are in for it here. So now the match is good. Because remember, the Street Profits versus the Usos is a match that I wanted to see. I wanted to actually see it at WrestleMania. I actually wanted to see it at wherever it was going to have more the tag team stuff at. So we don't get into like a full kind of matchup here, because after they do all kinds of super kick party type stuff, and Montez Ford goes up for the frog splash and hits a 2 count, Dawkins hit the right hand, and then what was it? G makes a tag and tries to go for the splash, but Reigns comes out and takes Montez Ford off because Montez was going to go for the splash, but then Reigns comes out, puts him in the guillotine submission, which Montez Ford is definitely selling, and they get DQ'd. So after the match, Reigns grabs the mic and says if Brock Lesnar wants it, he'll get it. Reigns says he will smash Lesnar, and everybody keeps making fun of him, keeps saying smashing.
Oh, that's what I seen that trending on Twitter, and I was like, what?
Yes. Reigns keeps saying smash, and everybody, and ever since he's talking about stuff, the big dog ain't interested in missionary, so everybody making a joke like smashing, he gonna smash him. Like, I was like, so that's what's been going on. But he's not gonna smash Lesnar until he's done smashing Finn Balor. You see how that sound? But as soon as he does that, the lights go out, and then here it comes. Demon Finn Balor is back, and he looks dope with because he got that thick goatee going on now too. Yeah, so the Demon is back, and I mean the Demon's going to lose, but
that's why I don't like it.
Well, the Demon has lost already on NXT,
but he's lost once on the main roster, and that one was unpredictable. This loss was unpredictable. When
did the Demon lose on the main roster?
Huh?
When did the Demon lose on the main roster?
No, he lost only on the NXT.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah, so he has not lost on the main roster.
Yeah, I know, but this is not a Triple H thing. This is a Vince McMahon thing. Vince said, well, look. I mean, you get the Demon. Once again, it needs to be something kind of match. You just don't do a one-on-one match. But
no, I'm saying, I'm saying me personally, I don't like it because it's like I already know, like, they're not giving it to Finn Balor, so I would like it if it was more unpredictable. Like, maybe he could, but I mean, I still like it, but I just, like when he fought Brock, if he would have used the Demon, I could have been like, oh, actually, maybe he could actually beat Brock with the Demon, just to give it a little extra layer or whatever. But no, it was cool.
Yeah, well, and they come face to face and stare down. So that's going to be the match at Extreme Rules. A Tribal Chief going against the Demon. I think it'll be a good matchup. It needs to be something.
Be a regular match or a strange.
That's what I'm saying. Like they got some added stuff because you got Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch. You got Roman Reigns and Finn Balor, and I don't know what the other card is, but I'm saying you got to start adding stipulations because it's Extreme fucking Rules. If you're gonna keep calling it that, if you're not gonna do it, then don't do the pay-per-view. Call it, Armageddon or something. Do that. But
they can't do that. They can't be saying, you know what, our 9/11 show, and then right after 9/11 say Armageddon coming soon.
You're right.
That's why they changed it in the first place.
Exactly, and Raw as well. There's so much of stuff that they changed. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention that how Fox blanked out like 30 seconds of the Brock Lesnar segment, which I thought was something wrong with my TV, but because
it was cussing.
Yeah, the crowd was chanting, "You fucked up," and then Fox like, "We ain't putting that on our network," so they blanked that whole thing out. I was like, "Whoa, didn't see that coming." So
now, I even though this was a good show, I do have to, just to take them back a little bit.
Okay.
I don't like what they did.
With.
They scrapped Selena Vega's match at the last minute.
I was wondering if we were gonna talk about that. So yeah, real quick. So there's supposed to be a match between Selena Vega. First of all, two people should be pissed. The other two, I don't really care. And they were supposed to have a tag team match of Selena Vega and Carmella taking on Toni Storm and somebody else. And they scrapped the match for time. And honestly, I don't give a fuck what Carmella feels. Be honest with you. The only people that have any right, in my personal opinion, to be upset because they was on Twitter is Toni Storm and Selena Vega. Now, I'm going to say knock out Toni Storm first because Toni Storm has been, promoted to be on TV. She's never been on TV. They always been taking her out. They haven't used her for over a month, and then she finally gets a chance to be on TV, and they still don't use her. But now the big reason is Selena Vega. I feel bad for her because they brought her back to this company. They have no problem trying to squeeze a 9/11 story out of Selena Vega. And for those who don't know, Selena Vega's father was on the 104th floor of the North Tower, and he passed away. He didn't make it out the tower, and that's been her 9/11 story that everybody talks about every single year. And she's from New York, so being on the eve of that day, even though it could have been a bullshit match and nobody gave a fucking know that Selena was probably gonna lose because she's been losing all fucking month. She's been losing ever since she came back. It would have meant something to her to go out to New York because first of all, she would have gotten a babyface reaction anyway. They was not going to boo this woman on the 20th anniversary. Huh? What'd you say?
Her hometown.
In her hometown. Because, Vince will put nobody over in their hometown. But they would not boo this woman. Especially when she lost her dad on the 20th anniversary of 9/11 in New York City in Madison Square Garden. It was not happening. Now, when they cut that thing for time, because the HSF Rollins match did go on for a pretty long time. It was as you call it, an edge match. And then we had a tag team match, and then we had like 3 segments. And I'm like, wow, y'all, it was a great SmackDown, but that was very unfortunate.
The thing is, though, like, they scrapped it for time, and they didn't even do a dark match, though. That's, like, they could have even did it after the show went off the air. Like, Cena came after the show went off the air. Just to have her out there in front of the people.
Yeah. She was handed a bad deal. And I really feel bad for her. And I can understand her going to Twitter. I think she deleted the tweet, but she was just like, no, never mind. And it didn't say anything.
Yeah, but because she had posted her gear. She was like, oh, I can't wait to wear this gear tonight. And then posted later, never mind. Here's my gear anyway.
Yeah. And I said, I feel bad for her. I really do. Because, like, 20-year anniversary of 9/11 where you lost your dad, and it's just
and they don't mind you using it to tell this every single year. Zelina Vega 9/11 is just like how Vince make all the white people go to the MLK monument.
It's oh, it's it's just tacky. I'm not saying it's everybody's fault, but I'm saying, but to have that match scrapped and not do anything for her, especially her, is heartbreaking. But SmackDown gets a thumbs up from me. It was the best SmackDown in a while, and it was the best wrestling show all week, and that's including stuff from AEW also. But post your comments down below how you guys enjoyed the SmackDown live from Madison Square Garden. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my reaction. Our review, and hit the subscribe button for more wrestling content right here on NC Studios. So now if you listen to us on the podcast, we're gonna move on. But if not, once again, this is NC and place me Chum saying D, and not Dion saying for prime time.
All right, y'all.
All right, and the Nerd Coalition is out.